Hey guys, welcome back to the Project DIY channel. On today's project, we're going to install some aftermarket door speakers in my 2020 Rav4. Let's get started. Alright, so we're going to continue with the upgrades to the stereo to my 2020 Rav4. And today we're going to be replacing the last remaining OEM part to this stereo, and that's the door speakers. We got a set in the front and a set in the rear, and we're going to be replacing both of them on both sides. And I'm going to be replacing those with these JBL Club 6520s. Now these are a common replacement speaker for Rav4s. They're 6.5 inch and they should fit right in the door. Also, along with this, I've got these speaker adapters, one set for the front, one set in the back. And I'll put an Amazon link in the description to these door speaker adapters and also to the speakers. Alright, we're going to start by disassembling the door. And the way these come apart is there's a piece of trim that goes along the side and up. That's got to be popped off. And then there's 3 screws to remove. And then we can pop the whole door panel off, unbolt the speaker, and hook it up. Alright, we're going to start off with our spudging tool. Get behind this plastic trim. Just go all the way around. Popping that loose. Once you get it a little ways, just pull off. Next, we're going to get in behind this little crack here. If I can find a spot, pull out on that, that'll pop out. Now at this point, you'll be able to see there's 3 screws. There's one there, one up in here, one down here. Once you get those screws out, we can pop the door card off, unhook all the wiring, and then we'll have access to the speaker. Alright, so as you can see from the video, once you get those screws out, you just pull out on the door card all the way around and it'll pop off. And then you can pop your door cables loose. One of these is the lock and one of them is the handle. And then there's 2 connectors that go for the window switches. Now the next hurdle we got to get over is these door speakers are riveted in. They're not bolted in. So we got to drill those rivets out. And all you do is just take a drill bit, drill these out, drill the heads off, and you can pull the whole thing out. Go ahead and unhook the speaker cable. Alright, got those drilled out, and I drilled them out just a little bit bigger than what they were originally. And we're going to get some bolts, and we'll bolt the speaker adapter in, and then we'll bolt the speaker in. Alright, these bolts are definitely way too long for what I'm doing, but I'm going to use them anyway because it's what I got. Alright guys, it's a couple days later. So the speaker adapters that I bought were not the right ones. And the Amazon listing had 2020 Rav4 in it, but they're actually for a 2018 Camry. I will link the correct ones down in the description, along with these speakers also. Alright, so these are the correct speakers, adapters, and show you how these go. These have these two ears at the top, and those will go on the top whenever you mount the speaker adapter onto the door. Now this is more of a universal adapter. It has a couple of tabs in the middle and on the outside that you won't need, and you can break those off. Actually, I think the ones on the inside you have to break off in order to get the speaker to fit in it. Also of note, the wiring harness adapters were not the right one either, so I got those, and those will also be linked in the description. All right, I got my bolts. Let's get this bolted in and get the speaker put in. Alright, so these wiring harness adapters plug into your old plug that went to your old speaker. Then the other end plugs onto the spade terminals of your new speaker. And if you notice, the spade terminals on the speaker are different sizes, and the ones on the adapter harness are different sizes, so you can't get those wrong. Now I'm also going to run these down through this hole in the top. That way they'll be inside, and I can plug the speaker up and hook the wiring harness up. Got it all put in, wiring harness plugged up, hooked to the speaker. Already checked it out, it works perfect. So next we'll put the door panel back on. And when you take your door panel off, if you have any of these clips, these round ones that stay behind, you'll have to pop those out and put them back into the door card. The door panel will not go back on correctly if you don't do this. So pop these out, put them back in your door panel. So I just pop this out of the door panel, and it just slides down from the top. Just like that, snaps into place. All right, put this back on. All you have to do is hook your wiring harness back up, same place it came loose from. Hook your door lock and door handle cables back up, same place where they came from. Green one goes on the bottom, and then you just snap it back in. All right, I'm gonna put my screws back in, pop my trim pieces back in, we'll be done with the front door. All right, there we go. Changed on the front door, all ready to go. Now let's get the rear speakers changed. Now to make this easy for you, the rear door speaker is exactly the same as the front door speaker. Everything comes apart the same. The speaker adapter is the same. And we're just going to follow the same exact steps as we did on the front. Now, a bit of a warning here. When you're putting these screws in to hold the speakers into the adapter, be very careful. If your screwdriver slips, you'll punch a hole right in your speaker. You don't want to do that. Alright guys, there we go. We got the front and rear door done on the driver's side. I'm going to go ahead and do the passenger side. I won't film that. You've already seen it twice. You don't need to see it again. And we'll come back and test it out. Alright guys, got it all in here. Everything's hooked up. Everything's working. And it's time to give it a listen. See if it sounds better. Alright, here we go with the sound test. This is before. Alright guys, I can say without a doubt it sounds better. The mid-range bass is much tighter, and I do hear some highs breaking through there, so it sounds pretty good. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. Just want to let everybody know that I really appreciate you watching. And if you learned something from this, go down in the comments and let me know. If it helped you out in any way, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. Hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Somebody told me in the comments the other day that if I said please, if I begged, that it would sound more grateful. So I am begging you, please hit that like button. And once you get done doing all that, I think the next thing you should do is watch this video.